that point, we
Eventually.
say, welcome. Now, you're about to get defeated. Roll initiative.
Mm-hmm.
You've walked into the wrong chat. Roll initiative.
You in the wrong neighborhood. There's goblins up in here, bitch.
You came to the wrong fantasy grounds, motherfucker.
Oni-chan.
Too soon, Tony. Too soon.
No, I didn't say bugbear.
Yeah, the goblins are still pretty close.
I was about to say it, but I hadn't said it yet.
Too soon.
All right.
So I apologize ahead of time if the recording's audio is going to be a little choppy at points. I am running off of a dinosaur of a laptop here.
No biggie.
So
It be happening. Well, as it is 8:30, we are only missing Alex.
Who will not be joining us tonight. He was hoping to make it home in time, but his grade 8 graduation likely will keep him busy until 10:30.
It's a likely excuse. You grounded him. Tyler's got him chained up, hanging from the ceiling and shit.
I sure fucking did. After him lifting up Kashoot and getting him fucking one shot, absolutely he's grounded.
And there he goes. Let's see. Well, we will get started without him then. That's the music. I moved back in. All right. So, probably no recap needed. Fight, 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 smash glass, squish, and there we go.
Wow. That's all Kashoot gets, eh?
So, we're going to be picking up as the party essentially drags Kashoot's body out of the shattered pane glass window, the front of the store. The bugbear that squished her having closed the trap door, and the party fleeing the building itself. Now that's where we're going to be picking up. I am going to kind of let you guys start after you've pulled Kashoot out. The entire party has left the building, so what it is that you guys wish to do, I will leave up to you.
Myers is burning the place to the ground, trying to light everything up by a torch.
Like you do.
I
So-
think... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I think we should bury her.
That
Give
makes
her-
sense to me.
What if Cash's background doesn't let them get buried and maybe they need to be put on a pyre?
I don't know.
What?
Does anybody know?
I don't know anything about astral elves, so I wouldn't have any idea on that. I would assume maybe to return her somehow to the astral sea, but I wouldn't have any idea on how to do that.
Are people too good for holes in the ground?
It's more of a belief, like how your belief system would bring you back and circle you through your cycle of life.
Yes, by returning to the earth.
Not always. I mean, like Techno said, she's an astral elf, so if you bury your body here, maybe her soul or her spirit doesn't get returned to the astral sea because it's trapped here on this plane.
Oh, and that wouldn't be very good.
Would it make you feel better to burn her?
I don't know. Oh God, I don't know.
Do you need another hug?
No. I'm okay.
I don't think any of us are okay.
There is always the option of resurrection, but that is prohibitively expensive at our current point. We would need to find a cleric or some other individual appropriately powerful, and we would have to pull forth a lot of resources, money specifically.
Arthanis would speak up and say, if this is the point, this is where Kashoot's suffering ends. I do not think it makes sense to revive them. They could be in a better place. No more suffering.
And that's always a good argument against the idea, too. I can't argue with that.
So we circled back to start. Hole or fire? Nalka looks at the building, which I'm assuming is
Fire!
slightly burning. Is it on
Maybe.
fire?
My understanding was you were trying to use a torch to just kind of hold it up there.
I was gonna try to find some flammable shit in there and then, yeah, burn it. Or Mars would.
And so you do start. You're saying inside. You're
Yep.
wanting to start a. Okay, so you start a couple small fires. But if you're looking to actually start a blaze, you're gonna have to take some time to like pile stuff up here and there.
Yeah, he might just start a few small ones and then say, yeah, it's not worth my effort. And leave.
I mean, weren't we going to bury the bodies by the tree?
Either
Yeah,
way, we
Mark.
should not be discussing it here.
Yeah, Mars is just gonna go look for a place to rest.
Perhaps it is wise to recover at the farmhouse.
Yes. But at some point, I would like to go back to the tree.
We will pass
Real
by the
quick.
tree on the way there.
Okay. That's good.
So what's the party's intention?
Probably retreat to the farmhouse and take a long rest.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea.
I agree.
Flick our
Yeah.
wounds. We got our shit kicked in.
Mm,
So, leaving the bugbear in the attic with a couple char marks from unsuccessful fires from Mars. And what about the body of Kashoot? Leaving it there to be buried
No.
later, leaving it by
No,
the tree.
Freya would
No,
take-
we're taking her with us.
take. I would like to see if there are any acorns when we pass by the tree.
There are actually a few acorns.
I would like to take those. 'Cause
Noted.
in case the tree isn't the cause of all this, I would like to plant them at some time and study the tree.
So you took some acorns. You're all going back. And we are flying a long rest in the farmhouse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Taking watch.
I was gonna say, if we need to switching and doing watches, likely Arthanis would offer to do the first one.
Tegno doesn't need to sleep, so he'll take watch for the full shift.
Okay, so do we want to do?
Convenient.
Do we
So-
want to do 2 people each watch, and that way, more eyes or no?
makes sense.
It wouldn't be a problem. I mean, I'm only one guy, so I mean,
Mars is not going to volunteer.
To be clear, though, not requiring sleep does not mean not requiring rest.
that is true.
Standing watch prevents you from successfully taking a long rest.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Well,
If
I'd
you
known
were to
that.
stand,
Yeah.
if you stood watch the entire time. Now, what it does allow you to do is react. If you're not asleep, you don't need to take off your armor. So if you guys get ambushed, you would still be armored or equipped. But essentially, rest is just not doing anything mentally, emotionally, or physically taxing, which
Standing guard very much is.
Having stood guard before, it very much is. It's boring as shit, but so you will need to set a watch if you so desire.
Yes, please.
All right. Yeah. In that case, I'll just go ahead and I'll find a chair, prop it back against the wall, and then just take a seat, and just kind of like, even though I don't actually have to sleep, I'll just go ahead and just sort of like nod my head forward a little bit, just sort of keep a sort of a passive perception.
I use everybody's passive perception. So while you're standing watch, the passive perception on your sheet. Where is that, anyways? On your sheet, it's
under senses on the main tab.
Main tab, senses. No, your PERC is your
Yep.
passive perception. That's the score I use if somebody's trying to sneak up on you. That's what we use. And so I'll apply a long rest. If you are, I think this is the first long rest. If you happen to be a spellcaster and you memorize your spells, which I do believe most of you do, except for Mars, this is your chance to change them. So on your actions tab, you would change the mode from standard to preparation. And then you would then, if you desire, you can change what spells you have memorized. You get the same number of spells. For you, Kazu, it's 4.
Mm-hmm.
You can change them if you want, and then those are the ones you're essentially stuck with until you take another long rest.
Yeah, I think I'm good with what I have.
Okay.
I don't remember how many prepared spells can I have at level 1.
Depends.
That's something to do with my wisdom modifier bonus, right?
It does have to do with that. It's usually your wisdom modifier plus your level. If you're a full caster, which you are, let me verify that for you real quick. But it's usually, yes, wisdom modifier plus level.
Okay, so I'd have my wisdom modifiers plus 3 step 4.
Yep, that's pretty standard.
Because I only had 2 prepared. Not that I needed them, but it's fine.
Right.
You can only cast 2 anyways.
Yeah, but it's
And
nice
you-
to have versatility.
And you nuked us with one of them, so.
All right, hey, whoa.
Almost.
Isn't
Amen.
that one the one that she can do as much as she wants anyway?
Thunderwave?
Yeah.
Is that a cantrip?
No, it's a
Oh.
first spell.
Oh, she burned a spell slot to fuck you up.
That was pretty
By accident.
Mhm.
Never gonna give it up. Never gonna let it go.
Clearly.
Alright. Successfully long rest. Everybody is healed. Most people are healed to full. And it is morning time. And you guys come out of your hidey holes in the farmhouse, having not been disrupted overnight. And the question is, what do you do now?
Well, what are we doing with the body?
During the long rest, like if I would have woken up at any point to do watch, as I was doing my watch, I would have flipped through my book to see if I had any notes about astral elves and like their funeral rites and rituals.
Give me a flat intelligence check.
Boom,
So-
baby.
You have no
Ooh.
knowledge of them in terms of burial rites, the astral elves, but generally elves preferred to be buried or returned to nature in some form or fashion that you have encountered.
Okay. I do think we bury her. If everybody's on board and
Yeah.
doesn't try to bring her back.
I
Yeah.
deem her worthy of a proper burial, yes.
All right, yeah, I'm down with that.
Just for clarification, Mars said that?
Yes.
Wow, okay. So
You
then
were
Estrella...
all... Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, fuck. Broke character.
All right, so what is it that you guys want to do? You guys wanting to go back to the tree? Random farm field number 2?
Well, where should we bury her?
The tree seems appropriate.
Hmm. Yeah.
Tree roots.
Yeah, well, we should be careful not to disrupt the roots.
Just be quick about it.
Nalka finds a shovel.
So, as you guys make your way to the tree and begin digging, how many graves are you digging?
Like, should we bury the people in the tree while we're at it?
Yep.
How many people are in the tree?
About 11 in total.
Okay. 12 graves it is.
That's a
If
lot
everyone-
of digging.
If
Sorry.
everyone's okay with it.
Mars is not participating.
If only someone had the mold earth cantrip, this would go by a lot faster.
Yeah, it would.
Kazu can try climbing the tree to start, getting the bodies down.
Are you just cutting the rope, letting them fall?
Well,
Sounds mildly
guess so.
disrespectful.
no.
How else are you
Just
gonna get a body out of
picking
a
up-
tree?
Untying the rope and getting him down.
I say Techno could just stand underneath and just sort of like, catch him.
Yeah, alright.
I mean,
Careful. Catch them. Don't let them drop.
I'm gonna try not to.
Nalka stops digging to watch this spectacle.
Apologies ahead of time to the deceased.
All right, so
Do
you
I
don't
need to
need to
make
throw
a
any
roll
checks.
too?
No. So you guys take down all the bodies, dig 12 graves, and put all the bodies in. And now what? Filling them in.
Mm-hmm.
I think Estrella would like say not a prayer, but like a
A eulogy?
yeah, kind of. And it would be pretty basic and generic for the group of 11 random bodies, and just saying that I hope that it wasn't too terrible and that your lives were lived mostly well before you suffered a terrible fate. Kashoot, if you're still here with us and you can hear us. We're really sorry.
Yeah.
We didn't mean for this to happen, and we hope that where you are, and I'll look over at Arthanis, we hope that your suffering has ended. And then I'll throw some dirt on top of Kashoot in the hole.
So before you guys fill in the grave of Kashoot, you hear a slightly higher than a human's voice, little high pitched, say from up in the trees. That one probably shouldn't be buried quite yet. Bring the body and what you can find of the head to the cabin to the northwest, and we'll see what we can do about putting her back together.
Kazu is startled. Is that his
Estrella will
voice? Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I mean, Kazu is quite startled and he makes a goose honk.
Estrella looks up into the tree to see if she can see anything.
There we go.
Who fucking did that?
Go
How's it?
ahead. For the perception check, you look and find nothing.
Damn.
I'm scared.
Malcolm murmurs, "Hello, scared," as they lift the body out of the grave.
And
Yeah,
Tender
we
like
should...
looks up in the tree and just kind of like brings his hand up over his eyes to kind of just like start looking back and forth.
So it has taken you quite a few hours to dig holes deep enough to bury 12 bodies. So it's probably midday about now. I presume you guys are looking towards about midday, and you guys are wanting to bury the rest of them, the rest of the bodies?
Yeah, before we move on, I mean, we got this far.
And as you guys are starting to bury these bodies, you see there is some clouds forming before, as you're probably getting close to burying the last one, you see that it starts to drizzle.
Excellent timing. Alright. Northwest?
Shouldn't we do what the disembodied voice says and find the head?
I suppose. It's on the way. Stop by the shop on the way in. Out of town, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Pocket as many bits as we can find.
Oh, God.
Oh,
And then...
No, that's not hers.
Oh, yes. That's
Oh,
the goblin.
God. Oh, God.
Fucking
Well, I think
goblin
this is-
head.
This is-
Goblin piece.
I think this is most of them. There's like 3 years. Nah.
I think
Alright.
I found some teeth.
We grab what we can.
I feel like maybe not all of those ears are hers.
You're right.
Maybe just these ones. To point out the two astral
Just two
elf ears,
perfect elf ears. Jesus.
The two that aren't fucking green.
and then one fucking green goblin ear. And the flickered off your hand.
Listen, I'm a barbarian. I don't know about biology, okay?
Alright.
And we carry on our merry way.
Duly noted. You guys make your way up the road as the rain kind of picks up in its intensity.
Fluffing up those feathers. And flapping like a bird does when it's in the rain.
So as you guys make your way up there, you notice a couple things. First off, it's pretty rainy, and you are all soaking wet, but you've buried those that needed buried. It appears that this trail ends abruptly at a gnarled sycamore tree, and a wooden staircase kind of wraps around the trunk, very very close to the staircase below and above it. So to reach, as it wraps around probably half a dozen times before reaching a small hut nestled in the branches. And there is a sign that reads apothecary, and it starts with the word C, and the sign has been cracked or struck with something, cutting off the rest.
Ooh. Hey guys, maybe this guy can help us with Kashoot. Or maybe they know something about the sickness.
That seems plausible.
Well, we never know.
Worth an investigation.
Who's knocking?
Nalka.
And are you making your way up the stairs or knocking from the bottom?
Up the stairs.
Ready? Who's all going up?
Kazu will go up.
Mars will hang back.
Tedna will head up as well.
Noted. So with you guys heading up and you knock, the door is opened. Inside you see a shop that is neat and tidy, but specifically as you guys are looking around, Estrella, and you notice that while the shop is neat and tidy, it's kind of held together poorly. It looks like, some shelves might have been smashed, but they've been put together, and there's marks on the floor that would suggest there were more shelves, but that are missing, and the ones that are there are kind of being held together with some assistance, probably not in their original carpenter manufactured state. And inside of this shop stands a small gnome who is old looking, kind of grizzled.
Tegno immediately perks up, and he asks if he's Rexel.
The gnome looks over at Techno before saying, I'm the apothecary, or I was before the disaster that befell this town. Bring in your companion and place her through that door. I have a place prepared. And there's a door at the back behind like a counter where some scattered papers are, probably some ledgers.
I say has... Alright. As the rest of the party is doing exactly that, Tegno actually just takes a step closer and he says that his mentor, Dr. Ovid, has tasked me to check on you after you didn't attend a family event that you normally would have. You just wanted to see how you were doing and if everything was okay. Obviously, from the looks of things, I guess it isn't.
He kind of nods curtly, says, I am better than most in the town, and the town itself is prevented me from leaving. My duties here are very in demand at the moment.
Do you know anything about the sickness that spread?
He says, come in out of the rain, get dry, and place your companion in the back room, and I will answer all your questions.
Okay.
So who stayed down at the bottom in the rain?
I did momentarily, but once the party went in, I would have went in.
Okay, so everybody is inside. Is there any objection to the plan that he has suggested? Is anybody not going along?
No, but Estrella is just cautious.
He seems to know what he's doing.
So once you guys are kind of settled, he has some towels, blankets, things of that nature. The weather is not very pretty, but not awful from the inside, at least. Now that you guys are inside there, he asks you if you would prefer he tell you the story or answer your questions.
Well, maybe a story will answer some questions.
I think if you could just tell us what happened, it would probably ease a lot of our questions, and then we can fill in the gaps later.
He says, I can do that. It all started a few weeks ago when a sickness hit the town. It weakened a lot of folks, and those it didn't weaken that were affected were driven mad. Some killed themselves, some killed others. Many were driven into a murderous rage. I've never heard of anything like it. I've never seen anything like it. And the town itself was torn apart in a matter of a few days. There was nothing that Onessa or the town council or the militia could do. After all of the chaos, Onessa weathered the violence. We were working together trying to find out where this sickness came from. And then 6 days ago, she vanished. Many other villagers were vanishing before her. We assumed they were wandering into the forest, but that isn't something that Onessa would do. These weren't just the infected ones. These are some that survived and were not infected. Onessa thought she had a theory, but she never got around to sharing it with me before she vanished. I collected some clues, but we've been trying to piece it together. The streets are extremely dangerous, and I am low on invisibility potions. They take a very long time to make.
Oh,
Roughly the day after the violence wound down and villagers immediately started disappearing, they would just vanish from their homes, everything behind, untouched, some with meals on the table. Onessa and I believed at that point something evil was behind this, not a random occurrence or sickness of a natural origin. The disappearances seemed to follow the sickness too closely. These people were being taken, but for what, we don't know. We have no idea who or what is behind it, and none of my testing has revealed anything about the disease. I can only guess that whoever or wherever it was behind it has Onessa now. I've taken samples from the bodies that were infected that we had to put down, and so far it only seems to affect humans. Everyone else is immune. Other than that, my alchemical testing has not revealed its origin, but it did indicate that it was spread through contact, weakening the mind and the body, but not killing them. Almost like the first stage of something. And that is where we are now. I am not able to continue to explore the town freely. The priests of Silverstone Hall were collecting those not infected in a weird sacrifice. And that is the full story as I've been able to gather it so far.
Oh, wow. Well, it sounds like if we might get any kind of answers, we need to find Onessa. She might know everything. Or something. Maybe.
If you are, he says, I would be very grateful if you would look into Onessa's disappearance, but also the disappearance of others that happened before her.
Okay.
I would be remiss to not admit that I have been watching you before deciding to reveal myself.
How long were you watching us? How were you watching us? I'm sorry.
An alchemist of my skills does not have much difficulty becoming invisible. I specialize in medicinal concoctions, but I am able to produce potions of invisibility with some expense and time. I became aware of your presence, made a rather loud entry, and I arrived near the ferry to see you returning to the ferry around, and a family that I had been unaware had survived the Red Thistles, departing the town on a wagon, or what remained of them.
I see. Well, what does everyone think? Are we in agreement that we need to find Onessa?
I think it could be important.
Seems to be the next objective, yeah.
Makes sense to me.
I can attempt to use some of my rarer potions to restore your companion to life.
You can?
I can attempt too.
Oh, right.
I cannot promise it will be successful. If it fails, I can guarantee that I will not be able to try again. And if you are willing to do me a favor, I would be happy to explain the disorder afflicting one of your other companions and possibly provide some assistance and begin looking into a cure.
Our other companions? Then he looks over at Mars. You mean him?
There is nothing afflicting me, but you will bring her back.
He doesn't seem
Try.
he doesn't seem overly concerned about Mars's threats. He says, "What I require is the rescue of, if there are remaining children, I require the rescuing of children in a farmhouse. I am happy to repay this with, as I said, some efforts and explanations. If you return to town, the road leading to the lumber mill on the left-hand side, there is a farmhouse where I knew a family had children. Sadly, I found the bodies of their parents after the violence subsided,
Oh no.
but I never found the bodies of the children, but I was not able to stay and investigate, and I need someone to investigate that.
Oh, we can't just let children fend for themselves.
Techno thumps his chest with a hand and says he'll head out and take a look.
If we must.
We are here to look for survivors.
Okay, away we go, I guess.
Don't
He
worry,
pulls
children, we're coming. I'm
he
sorry.
pulls a potion out of his mini pouches, hands it over to the wizard Mars, and says, "This will assist in making your spells ever more destructive. If you need to acid splash any more uh, bodies of my friends and family hanging from trees."
If you speak true, then I will thank you later. Maybe. And he'll save it for now.
He says, "You're welcome to rest here, but I have work to do on your friend." And he kind of leaves you with a little bit of food and heads through that same door, and you guys hear a large bolt clack into place after he closes it behind him.
I say, Techno was about to ask if he needed any help, but after he hears the bolt clack, he's like, I'll just take that as a no.
Yeah, it sounds like he needs some quiet to himself.
Are there any windows on this building?
They're all sealed up, storm and all.
But they're not like boarded up. I could still look through them.
You can. There's shutters. You can kind of pull the shutters open a little bit, look out.
If we're headed outside already, I would like Estrella would try and find a window into like the area where we put Kashut's body and just try and like peek without being noticed to see if he's being weird with the body.
You are unable to access or open any windows into that back room, but you can look outside if you wanted to.
Nah, it's okay.
So if he is getting weird with the body, you're not able to see it.
Cool.
Would you guys like to take a long rest?
I think
Or
we
are
just-
you wanting to just head out?
Well, we did just take a long rest, right?
You spent about half the day burying bodies, but you don't need to rest again. I just was asking in case anybody wanted to.
All right. Does anybody want to rest?
You technically might. Out of character, just because you have exhaustion, but
Yeah, it might
Do
not be
I?
a bad idea, actually.
Could be wise to wait out the rain.
Do I still have exhaustion?
It
You
goes
had
down
you had
by
2.
1 point.
Yeah,
Now you have
Okay.
1.
All right.
yeah. Because
Okay then.
you only lose 1 level of exhaustion per long rest, so...
Okay, cool. Then, yeah.
Be wise to wait out the rain too.
Good point.
Apply a long rest. Spells changing, not that you guys necessarily want to right away, but spells changing are available. And the rain moves on. The storm clears in the middle of the night. And it becomes fairly quiet as you guys wake up to a wet but sunny day. Still a couple clouds overhead. Nothing overwhelming, but
oh, and Tony, you can get them take the mage armor off of me since I'm still Mars. Thank you.
mm,
I think you can end effects on yourself by clicking on the little boot.
Yeah, I tried, but
Okay.
it wouldn't work.
It hates you.
It might have been because Tony put it there to begin with.
probably. You can't remove the ones I put, but you can remove your own.
I see.
Does anybody have any special requests for spells?
Damaging ones.
So Thunder Wave, okay.
Healing.
Cure Wounds, got it.
Yeah, I also got my cure wounds. It's staying there forever.
What else can you do?
Well, I could doesn't help any of you, but I could absorb the elements so that I can take less damage from specific things. I could make friends with animals. I could make or get rid of water and charm people. I'm really charismatic sometimes when I really want to be. I can tell if something's magic or if it's poisoned or diseased, which I was doing anyways. I can make the earth shake. I could make vines grow. I can make a cloud of fog, make it really hard for people to see. I, I can talk with animals as well as just make. I can do a few things. I just I don't know if I'm any good at them right now.
I might swap out Tasha's Caustic Brew for Identify, but... I mean, I'm keeping Cure Wounds. That's... yeah. The thing is that Caustic Brew is only... it's damaging, but it's also a 30-foot line.
You've also got 2 people with cure wounds already.
Okay, yeah, that's true. You can never have enough healing, in my opinion. So, I guess I can swap out Cure Wounds for Identify. So,
Yeah, I swapped to absorb elements.
alright, I think I'll just go ahead and guess I'll just go ahead and... How do I swap out spells? I guess I'll just pull this up then. Here we go. Identify, huh? Cool. Oh, wait, why did it swap back over to standard?
No.
That's weird. Alright. Well, I got identify on there. How do I remove a spell off of here?
What do you mean?
Um,
Define remove.
Like I have Cure Wounds and Tasha's Caustic Brule on my level 1 spells. I was gonna swap out Cure Wounds for Identify, and I put Identify on there, but
Right click.
Oh.
And then the delete.
Oh, okay. All right,
Oh.
done. All right, sounds good. All right, I'm good to go.
Cool.
Shall we?
Yes.
I say, yeah. While we're heading to that that building, that device I tried identifying last week that I couldn't identify, I could go ahead and try doing that now.
Okay. It is a +1 weapon.
Sweet.
I don't remember who had it. If anybody had it,
I think
you were trying
Arthanis had it.
Then, yeah.
I'll identify it on his sheet.
Thank you, thank you.
Mm-hmm. It was a Warhammer or a Morningstar. I don't remember which. This is
Morningstar.
an identified op.
Yeah.
Alright, so you guys are heading down to the building he indicated, which is way down here. I will sync your maps. You need not worry about it. And share the map with you.
Is the cloud shadow a new feature?
The clouds?
Yeah, I can see like a misty grayish color drifting across the screen.
I have them pretty faint right now. You can get them pretty thick.
Cool.
But no, it's actually an old feature. Unfortunately, they're not seen very much in the Underdark.
Ah, true.
I know. I got lots of options. We got basic snow, we got the blizzard,
Hot damn.
we got the mist.
If I'm not mistaken, I think didn't you use that during the Christmas one shot we had last year?
I did.
Oh yeah.
We got a little sepia. And here's a good one. Night vision.
Oh, cool.
That. The house you are approaching, as Rexel is doing, Frankenstein's work, the door to this small farmhouse, as you approach it, is kicked in, and the adjacent barn across the road behind it, I apologize, has been burned all the way down to the foundation. Apparently these people are better at burning things than Mars is.
Burn.
I will not stand for that, God.
Cool, Spirit's been here. I can tell by the kicked in door.
On the front porch, front yard, there are two bodies that look to have numerous broken bones and have been burned beyond recognition.
I would like to take a look for any signs of danger or any traps.
Okay. Give me an investigation or a perception. You can pick one, but not both.
Yeah. Oops. Here we go.
Okay. From the outside, you check. You're checking the doors, the windows. I'm presuming the general
Oh.
house.
Yeah.
There are no traps that you can detect.
Anything else dangerous
Uh,
looking?
Not necessarily dangerous looking. There's a lot of damage, but nothing dangerous looking.
Okay, I would like to cautiously approach and peer inside.
Okay. As you approach and you peer inside, the house has also been ransacked. Tables have been smashed. It looks like the destruction isn't like I'm going to come into your house and take things as much as I'm going to come into your house and just smash like a bull in a china shop, just things being knocked every which way.
Well, whoever has been here really wanted to get in. But I don't see anything in here.
So there are a number of doors from this main first room you enter that kind of lead off.
Okay.
Ow.
As you're kind of peering around, that was not intended. A crossbow trap is triggered on you, Kazoo, unfortunately.
Ouch.
The crossbow trap had a trigger. As you were kind of looking around the room, a crossbow bolt thuds solidly into the wood right next to your arm as you're kind of looking around. Once it
Honk.
That was perfectly timed.
indeed.
Yeah.
All right. What is it that you guys want to do? This trap just triggered. Someone booby trapped this doorway.
And we can see like where it came from.
It came from somewhere in the mess. You can't see specifically where it's
I
at
see.
in the house, but it's somewhere in there.
All right. That's exciting. Well, I guess we'll have to be careful.
Mm-hmm.
Nalka enters the house and picks a door.
Okay. There are
Push it.
2 doors that lead into other parts of the house and one that leads out of the back.
The first door that leads deeper into the house.
Okay. You throw open the door and you hear a unsatisfying click
Mm-hmm.
as the door itself was also trapped with a heavy crossbow. This one, unfortunately, doesn't miss you and embeds in your thigh almost up to the fletching.
All right.
Ouch.
Be more careful than me. Who's inside this room? As
The room is
Nalka
empty.
like staggers back and slides down the wall.
The room is empty.
Ouch.
Are there any more rooms in this house we haven't investigated yet?
One more room.
Okay, Techno's gonna head up to the door, but before he pushes it open, he's going to kick it open, but as he kicks it open, he's gonna jump out of the way in case it's also booby-trapped.
Outstanding. This is the time when if you know you were an asshole DM, you were like, it's trapped against being hesitant to traps.
You dodge out of the way of the crossbow bolt and land on the pitfall trap.
So
I have a sound effect for that.
you do trigger a trap, but your efforts give it disadvantage, and it aims right for where you were and misses, and hits the wall on the opposite side of the doorway. And again, you find this room to be empty.
Did that gnome just send us here to be killed?
Likely. As Estrella walks through, can she notice? Can she keep an ear out for any like loose floorboards or squeaky panels on the ground?
Okay, give me an active perception check. Bear in mind, you can't get less than what you get on your passive.
Okay, so my passive is 15. Active perception gives me. Huzzah!
15.
15.
So you move around, and you don't detect any loose floorboards, but what you do detect is a slight detection of motion from the small house across the street.
Wait. I'll walk over to the window, and I'll try and like watch to see if I see it again. And if I do see it again, I'll say, I don't think they're hiding here. I think they're across the road.
Should we just leave this place and go check across the street?
Could someone help me with this crossbow bolt first?
Oh,
Yeah, Mars
oh,
will just
coming.
walk over and just pull it right just immediately.
Are you okay
No
now?
sympathy.
I've been better. But I've been worse. Could someone help me with this bleeding, please?
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, coming. And I will cast Cure Wounds. You get
Hey,
7
nice.
hit points.
Exactly what I needed.
Very nice.
Yay.
Okay, now I only have 1 spell slot to use for later, so
It's
keep that in
all
mind.
good. I'm sure it won't be a problem.
Sure. Estrella will just keep an eye out in the window looking for that movement across the house. Just trying to be absolutely certain it's not goblins or a fucking bugbear.
Okay, you're just gonna stick your head in.
Like, super fucking stressed. But yeah, just kind of prepping.
Surprise! It's both.
I think the children are across the way.
Okay. To the children. I guess. Yeah. I mean, there's probably nothing here.
Perhaps more crossbows.
I hope not.
Well, let's find out, I suppose.
Do you need some help walking, Nalka?
I think I'm okay now.
Okay.
So you guys are going across to the other house, and
Yep.
who's doing what?
I'll kind of listen Like I'll put my body up against the wall of the house near a window or a door or something and just kind of listen.
As you listen, you hear some very soft whispering, more higher pitched voices, suggesting at least one or two children, and some hushing. You also notice that the windows are barred from the other side, and you would probably take a guess that the door is also pretty heavily blocked.
What do you hear?
There's definitely children inside. I'm not sure if there's anybody with them or if it's just them on their own though.
Well, we should let them know that we're here to help them.
If they
Like to-
believe us.
Oh, what?
That's if they believe us.
Oh, yeah, true. We should still give it a shot. Kazu would like to knock on the door. Hello? We're here to help you.
So whatever sounds you were hearing, cut off. You get no response.
It's okay, we're not going to hurt you. We're here to save you. It's okay to come out.
Perhaps tell them who sent us?
Oh, yeah. Rexel sent us. You know who
roll
Rex is?
roll a charisma persuasion. Or
Roll persuade.
it's up to you who does it.
Oh, dear.
I don't know why you're trying to reason with children.
I wasn't making that roll, not with a -1 modifier.
So
Yeah,
when
Kazu.
you go ahead, when
Sorry.
you are trying to say that you're safe, your voice is high pitched and strained. It sounds like you are nervous and scared, and you mispronounce the man's name.
Well, he has no charisma. And he is nervous and scared.
Mars is gonna say, "Come out now, or I'm coming in for you." Try and
Oh
intimidate
yes,
them.
that's going to work.
Don't scare them.
It'll work.
Arthanis will walk up to the door and just say, "Listen, you can either stay here and potentially get eaten by goblins, or you can come with us and we can keep you safe."
Go ahead and roll a persuasion, but make it a disadvantage given the
God damn
last
it.
two.
Damn it.
Motherfuck! Yeah, fucking Arthanis has a +5. I have a +5.
So what you intend to be is like an ultimatum, like a juxtaposition. It just comes out as that you're going to feed them to goblins.
Oh.
Nothing has really changed with the house, but everybody looking at the house gets the impression that the doors and the windows are now sealed tighter.
Could I try again?
No, you guys.
Mars is gonna try to sneak
Yes.
around the back, but fail.
Oh no.
Excellent.
After everything we've been through, we've been bested by children.
Honestly. Out of everything.
Well, he did tell us to investigate. We don't necessarily have to bring them back. Perhaps they'd be more willing to listen to the man himself. Someone that they know.
Shoot will step out from behind a tree nearby and say, I don't think that's how you're supposed to lure children out of home.
Ah,
Estrella will run up and give her a hug.
Are you done with your nap?
Kishute will return the hug and then glare at, I assume that was Mars.
Yep.
Yeah, Mars. Sorry, I don't know all your voices yet.
Yeah, no worries.
But you do know our personalities.
And I do too. So.
when Estrella is done hugging, Kazu would like to hug too.
All right.
Hug Keshut.
Kishute will return the hug. Thank you. I'm here. I feel like I could use like a week's worth of sleep, but we have a job to finish.
Yeah. Do you think you could take a crack at trying to reason with the children?
I don't think they're coming out anytime soon.
No.
Are we sure that they are children?
There's something. And they haven't tried to kill us yet. Unless they put those crossbows up.
I'd
In
hope
which
so.
case, then they have.
Shoot will go up to the porch or the door. Is it locked from the inside or is it like an internal external lock?
It's a double door, so it is barred from the inside, but you could pick the lock and lift the bar, but it would require 2 checks.
I'm going to attempt.
Be careful. In the other house, we got shot at by crossbow bolts.
Traps. All right. I will search for traps first.
Nice.
There are no traps that you can detect. So you managed to pick the lock.
Okay. And now to lift find a way to lift the bar, right?
Indeed. You successfully lift the bar, and the double doors can swing open at your push.
Before I swing the doors open, I'm going to slightly open the door and slide in some rations. 3 of my rations.
Okay.
And say I'm sliding in some food for you. But I'm going to keep the door open just enough so that I can see the rations.
Okay. The rations go in, and they are snatched pretty quickly by what appears to be a human-ish hand. Might be smaller than a standard human.
Can I come in?
Roll a persuasion check. The food will give you advantage, which will nullify the disadvantage from your companion.
God damn it.
Both of those would be successful. You manage to get a response. You hear a adolescent, kind of an older voice say, "You can come in, but we are armed."
I'll open the door up all the way, but I don't go in yet. Do I see them?
You see a probably 16-year-old young man with a heavy crossbow. Same type of heavy crossbow that the rest of the party has seen before. And
Mhm.
Or at least the
you-
bolts, anyway.
Yeah. And it's aimed at the door.
That's okay. So are we.
It's like, we don't mean you any harm. What was that guy's name?
Rexel.
Rexall?
Yes.
Rexel, however you want to pronounce it.
Rexel,
Rexel.
yeah.
Rexall.
The big
He-
Rex.
He sent us from up north from his apothecary to check on you. To make sure that you're all right. Do you want to come with us back up to the apothecary to see him?
That's going to be another persuasion check.
Okay.
It can be at advantage. You know, having not fed them to goblins as some have threatened. Cat. And you manage to convince them. He says, if you really are from Uncle Rexel, then we'll go with you. But if you're lying, I'm not afraid to shoot you. And he kind of makes a motion before, and 3 other siblings, much, much younger, come out.
Okay. If it makes you feel better, we'll walk ahead of you.
The older voices, yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
All right. So we're gonna escort our new friends here to their Uncle Rexel. And I'll step off the porch.
Yay, you did it. Good job, Kashoot.
Some luck back with her.
Right.
No
Yeah.
Shit.
I sat here after you rolled, and I was like, "How in the fuck did you manage to win these kids over with a -4 and being dead like 5 minutes ago?"
I know. She came back with a soul.
Hot
I mean,
When she died, the party's confidence died with her.
bruh. It's true though. It's true though.
I mean, he was working the whole rest of the day and then the evening, so maybe that's what it is. You guys escort the children back, and Rexel is still sleeping, having worked most of the night. But as the children get close, they are very seemingly familiar with the shop, and as soon as they're there, they start making themselves at home, having visited here multiple times before.
all right. I'm gonna go wake up Rexel
Mm-hmm.
just so that he's aware that his was it Nephlings are back? I think that's the word for nieces and nephews, right?
I can't attest to it, but I'll take your word for it.
It sounds right to me.
It
Yeah,
seems legit.
Neflings. Yeah.
It seems legit.
Nieflings?
I don't like that.
That's only if they're part demon.
And
So,
angel.
I don't like that at all.
Fair enough.
That's just channeling Dronga at the most few words, strong emotions. I don't like this. So you guys wake him up, and he thanks you, saying, I assumed they had survived. I was simply unable to investigate with the danger. There's many more of you, and my efforts were successful with your friend, but I must caution you that I do not have another potion of that magnitude. I did not craft it myself. Travel carefully. I have no real idea what it is that Odessa had intended. Onessa had intended. You may have to look at the sheriff's office for more clues that I have not been able to find.
Oh, yeah, we've been to the sheriff's office. There was this map.
He
With,
kind of wipes his eyes. The hour of sleep he's had. He reaches out for the map and asks to see it.
Well, I didn't actually take it.
And he says, "Can you describe it?"
Well, it had a lot of markers on it, specifically on an orphanage and another town up.
The orphanage is known as Mother Odal's Orphanage. And there's no other towns nearby, but there is a very large manor,
Yes.
Arvin Hode's Manor. He shakes his head and says, I did not find that in my investigations, probably because I was too hasty, but I would guess that the impetuous Onessa headed off to investigate. I would recommend seeking out a man named Selam. He is a good-natured woodcutter of a extremely large size for a human. A local boy who lived at the old orphanage. It was run by his mother. He's over 7 feet tall,
Oh,
but he's
wow.
always been as gentle as a kitten and keeps to himself. But he does good by the town. If people need him, he comes into town and helps to the best of his ability. I will spell that. He has taken up living at the orphanage. I'm not sure. I haven't seen him. We haven't seen him since all the chaos, so I cannot attest that he will be there. But if he is, he will provide you aid.
Well, thank you for that information and for helping our friend.
He says, if you are helping the town, it's the least I could do. I require some rest, but I will begin looking into the affliction your companion seems to be suffering from or enjoying, depending on his perspective at any given moment.
Right. I do have a question.
If you're referring to me, old man, I am perfection.
He doesn't answer any comment from Mars. He kind of looks around at the rest of you expectantly before he's about to head back in.
Well, Kazu does have something to ask.
He looks at Kazu and expectantly says, "What can I help you with?"
Well, back at home, my clan has been struck with a disease, feather loss, infertility, and it's been very contagious. Well, luckily I haven't caught it yet.
He moves to the back of his stand and comes out with a tube and a small dagger and asks if he can collect some blood.
Sure.
He goes through pretty deftly and slices the small fleshy part of your arm underneath some of your scales and collects a small, about a cup worth of blood, a small cup worth, and sets it aside after pouring it in the tube and says, "I will look into this as well."
Thank you so much.
He gives a nod. And if there were no other questions, he heads into his room.
Before we leave, Ash is going to go to the oldest boy. What's your name?
He kind of looks at the other children and says, "Tevin."
Did your parents run was it carpenter shop, lumber mill?
My dad worked there.
Did he have an order to make a staff for an out of town wizard?
Yes, I believe it was due to be shipped.
Is it still down there?
It would be, yes. It would be at
Do you
the
know
lumber mill.
Do you know where it's at in there?
He said at the end of the road, it would be amongst the lumber, probably packaged in a box. We send all shipments there to be loaded with the lumber.
Okay. I'm going to go down there and collect that for my employer. Do you have any issue with that, seeing as that is probably your lumber mill now?
He kind of looks unsure before saying, "Yes, it was sent for shipment."
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for helping us get back to our uncle.
You're welcome. Take care of your brothers and sisters.
Sorry for scaring you earlier.
He gives both suggestions an apology and a nod before moving over to his siblings and tending to them.
All right, Cash will go back to the group. Before we head for the orphanage, I would like to go back down to the lumber mill and retrieve the staff I was sent here to retrieve.
Okay.
I have no problem with that.
So there's a number of areas in the town that you haven't explored prior to, the unfortunateness. But that was pretty much the main way left. So if you guys after you guys head there, you probably will be finished exploring town, with the exception of the inn. So those are things you guys can, but aren't required necessarily to look into. So when you guys are ready, you can head off down in that direction.
All right, sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
As we walk by the inn, is there any kind of signs of life in there, just like from the outside?
So, are you just walking by listening or looking or both?
Just looking. Not
It
not
doesn't,
particularly observant.
it doesn't appear anything has caught your attention.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
same as most of the other buildings. I'm assuming we passed by.
pretty much. And turning down the road, there's, a burnt building on the right in here. It looks to be the smoldering ruin of a once 3-story building. Not a whole lot is even remaining. And there's quite a few other, there's a big pile of lumber to the south right here, kind of where things are stacked up from the lumber mill, obviously, to, process it, then move it over here. There's a lot of wagons around the lumber yard. And the lumber mill itself is to the south. So where do you guys want to go specifically? The lumber mill, where the wood is processed, the lumber yard, or here where it's stored and loaded?
Wherever he said the shipments were waiting to be.
That's going to be
If
the
he-
lumber yard, the circle.
Okay. Then there.
Okay. So yeah, you make your way over there, and it's a large grassy field, mostly empty except piles of lumber that are being loaded onto wagons. I mean, it's full, but it's mostly empty other than those things. The lumber itself is piled 20 feet high in piles 10 feet. I'm sorry, 20 feet long, 10 feet high. And there's a collection of boxes stacked nearby.
Any of them long enough that would hold a staff?
Quite a few of them, actually.
Okay. I have a crowbar. I'm going to start opening.
Okay. Give me an investigation check, just as you go through everything. So it takes you about 45 minutes, and you find the specific staff in question. It's non-magical, it's just a quarterstaff, but it's very well made.
All right. I have found what I came here for. We can finish exploring the town and head out to the orphanage or wherever. What's her name? Wherever she went.
Onessa?
Yes, Onessa. Sorry, my memory's not too great right at the moment.
It's all good.
It's okay.
Okay.
You just got back from being dead.
So you guys are wanting to head out of town?
Unless
to
we,
I
unless
have
anyone wants to explore the town further.
Not
It's
the
up to you
town.
guys.
burning desire, really.
Preferably get out of here before that wolf eats us all.
Scared? It's not gonna hurt you. It's okay.
So
I mean, I have a way with children. Maybe I have a way with animals too.
It's true.
well, you'd think that, but I actually have a way with animals, so
So we are going to have you guys departing, heading up to. Let me find that image. I know where it's at. I just don't have it saved. So we will be picking up with the party departing for the orphanage. Right here's the map. Somebody had it up first. So it's around the lake. Obviously, you'll be departing. As I said, it's not a horrifically long journey. Each square is roughly a mile, which will be. I'd have to remember to calculate it, but it's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 squares, so about 4 miles up the road. And we will be picking that up next game. For the remaining 25 minutes, you have to level up to level 2.
Woo!
Woo!
Nice.
Ben,
Awesome.
don't leave. I have to show you something. But
Okay.
when you're finished.
Somebody's in trouble.
So if you've never leveled up a character before, what you're going to want to do is open your character sheet to the main tab.
Yeah.
Across from your class, next to the proficiency +2, there's a little magnifying glass. You want to click that. It will pop up your class and level window. You'll want to, if you're leveling up in the same class, you'll want to click on the little button at the end. It's Artificer, it'll pop up your class. The reason why you do that is because there are multiple different versions of classes depending on which book you're using, and this opens up the same one you used prior. Once you have that open, you just want to grab the button in the top left of that window, drag it, and drop it onto your character sheet. So if anybody needs help, I am here. I know some of you have done this before. If what I just said is a little confusing, I can.
Yeah.
No problem. So so on your character sheet, main tab, you see where it says Artificer level 1?
Yeah, I have the class level thing opened up.
Okay. Do you see the button underneath the green plus?
Oh,
If you single click that, it'll pop up. It'll say Artificer class in the window.
okay. Specialization. Oh, it closed.
I'm not sure what happened.
Maybe
Try
I
it again.
There we go.
And yes, if you pick your specialization at level 2, then it will probably have you specializing. I think Artificers specialize at level 3, though, so it should.
That is correct.
What is it offering you in terms of?
It just says specialization and it's blank.
So, level 2 artificers have the ability to infuse items. I'm looking at it right now. It says you've gained the ability to imbue mundane items with certain magical infusions, turning them into magical items. When you gain this picture, pick 4 artificer infusions to learn, choosing from the sections at the end of the class description. You learn additional infusions when you learn certain levels, as shown in the infusions known column of the title. And you can, when you gain a level, you can replace one of the infusions you've learned with a new one. So.
Okay. Give me a
Yeah,
second. I'm gonna mess around with your character sheet, just for a second. Don't worry
Yeah,
about
I
it.
haven't seen any kind of options.
Okay. So, no problem. It is. So you have leveled up to level 2. I went ahead and drug it over.
Thank you.
You gained 6 hit points.
Yay.
And that it also, as he said, gave you the option for infused item. So for you on your character sheet under abilities tab, you'll have a new thing there under features. It says infuse item.
Oh, okay, I see it.
If you click that, the little button, I call it a shield, but I don't know what they want it to be. You can scroll through there. You don't have to make your decision now, but for you can read it, kind of learn about your new feature. You essentially get the ability to pick 4 artificer infusions. They're very low, weak, non-magic or magical-esque effects that you can put on an item. So, for example, if you scroll through them, you can touch a suit of armor, and it increases your walking speed, and it has a number of effects that are very magical-esque. Some one of the simple ones, +1 bonus to attack and damage. Obviously, something that is good if you're going to be hitting people. So, you get to pick 4 of them.
Ooh, I can recover an expended spell slot as an action.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds cool.
Ooh, that actually is. Where's that one at?
Oh, 6th level.
Oh yeah, prerequisite. Yeah, you need to be 6th level on that one.
Check
Well,
out replicate magic item. It lets you
Yeah.
create some low-level magic items, and it's a very fun one.
Yes,
Cool.
it is. So, like, yeah. And if you need to see any of those magic items, there's a fantastic website. I'm sure someone has it easily available. 5e Tools, they'd be happy to drop somewhere in there.
I'm gonna
Link.
go with repeating shot at least with one of mine, and that's only because of the fact that I have a crossbow on that. Also, if the weapon lacks ammunition, it basically produces its own. So,
So what I ask for you infusers, the 2 of you, if you look where it says infuse item under your feature, if you would write down the ones you're adding. So if you look on your character sheet, Kazu, I'm typing.
Mm-hmm.
If you wouldn't mind typing the 4 that you're picking next to infuse item. Don't need to do it today.
Yeah.
And just so we can keep track of which you have.
I've posted the link to the Artificer Infusion page on 5e Tools in the Discord. It has all the items and things as handy
Thank you.
little pop-ups.
And you ran
Thanks.
away already, Mel?
I am a level 2 barbarian.
Look at you, fucking barbarians.
My health went up, and I can attack with more risk, and that's what I get.
Meanwhile,
Yay.
Estrella's over there looking at her magic like, this motherfucker.
Oh, how the turns have tabled.
Yeah, I will take a look at these and make a decision. Later.
Estrella, do you mind if I click on your character sheet for a second? Wait, did I lose you, Estrella?
Sorry, I was trying to help my cat. What did you need me?
Do you mind if I click on your character sheet?
No, go ahead, go ahead.
Click on the actions tab of your character sheet for me.
Let me just save my thing here. Actions, got it. Ooh, polymorph.
Do you? Well, that's gonna be something different. Do you notice how your character sheet is kind of long? And like your spells, you have a bunch of level 1 spells, and then you have the stars next to it to show you which ones are memorized.
Yep.
Under mode, if you click to combat, it shrinks it. I didn't know if you knew that.
Yeah, I actually enjoy seeing the ones because then I have the ones that are ritual spells that I can pick up.
Clever.
Yeah, just makes it easier for me.
Hazel, Mars, you guys need anything?
No, I think I'm good. I just have to choose another spell to learn.
Bear in mind for all you spellcasters, when you gain a level, you can swap out a cantrip. You can replace one of your cantrips with another. Estrella, we are going to have to sort out your druidic circle.
Okay.
And the wild shape that comes with it. I know you are Circle of the Stars. I don't think that is giving you any bonuses to wild shape.
I don't believe so. I pulled it up on my phone so I could look. Let me see here.
I was looking at it too. So, if you're the standard druid, which I believe Druid of the Stars is, 2nd level max CR is 1/4, goes flying or swimming. Kashoot has a couple handy dandy links. I think she has a level 13 druid.
Didn't we just go to 14?
14?
No.
Druid? I
Maybe
think you
not.
just went to 13.
Where would I put my artificial infusions on my page? Would that be under features or traits?
You can just, depending on what are you looking to add the effects of them, or just keep track of them?
Both, actually, because what I'm wanting to do is I want at least enhanced defense. I know that much.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be very useful because I'm using scale armor, or scale mail, I should say.
Yep.
And I like the +1 bonus to my AC.
Called
So.
enhanced defense?
Yes. That's at least that's one of my infusions.
Make a list of them. I'll get back to you on that.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll choose my 4. Then I'll just I'll note which ones I want. So
I posted the link to that beast list.
Nice. Oh, you can sort it by
Challenge rating.
challenge rating too.
Yep. You'll have to make sure to manage the rules with beasts. So, like, you can't, at level 2, you can't, like, pick a raven or an octopus or anything like that because you don't have access to flying or swimming creatures yet. But
Not my first time playing a druid. This isn't my first rodeo.
fair enough.
It has been a while, but I appreciate all the help because it will take me some remembrance.
But that's a pretty inclusive list of creatures to go off of, so.
Nice.
Let's see. Kashoot, you have some experience with rogues, having played and lost them before.
I don't appreciate where you went with that.
Technically correct.
I mean, yeah, but like.
Space Eel.
All right, Techno, for you.
yes.
I noticed when you added identify, you deleted the other.
Yeah, I deleted Cure Wounds because I was replacing. I thought I was replacing Cure Wounds with Identify since I was swapping those out. Should I have kept Cure Wounds on my sheet?
I think artificers cast like clerics.
They do.
They know all the spells that they have a level 4.
So what you want to do is, for your sanity, open up spells on the right hand side.
All right, give me a second here. Let me just. All right.
When you get that open, change level at the bottom to 1.
All right, hang on. Let me delete this then.
You can leave those. It won't hurt anything.
Oh, I had. All right. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, I got spells, cantrips, and spells level 1.
Hold on. You're adding new spells?
I didn't mean to do that. I didn't. Try. Okay. Let's.
Fine. I got it.
All right. Cool.
You want to open the spells from the banner on the side. I don't think I can share this. No. It'll just be off to the right under character at the bottom.
Okay. I see it. I see.
Once you open that, go to the bottom and open.
Yep, I got spells. Okay.
Level 1 and then Artificer.
Level 1. Oh, I see. Okay.
Good night.
So you want to add
and then go
source.
Source
Change
is Artificer. Okay.
And you should have absorb elements, alarm, etc. for the level 1. You want to add all those to your sheet.
Okay.
They should automatically.
Okay. Yeah, I see. I see a couple of them are duplicated because I have them as automatic effects in Tasha's Cauldron. So.
See where it says Tasha's Cauldron? Click the words D&D Tasha's Cauldron. It will go specifically to that book and only show you the spells.
Oh, okay, cool. So then I just hit the So
You
do
can
I
just
just drag and drop?
this, drag and drop under level 1, and it will just populate them all.
Oh, okay, cool.
Let me know when you get all those added. All of them. I can collapse them as you add them and make your life easier.
Alright, let's detect magic. Disguise. I had no idea. Hell yeah. So,
Well, you played a monk for years, so I thought it would be.
yeah.
Featherfall, grease.
Oh, I already had identify on there, didn't I?
I got it.
Alright, cool.
Go ahead.
So then I just threw in jump, long strider, purify food and drink, sanctuary, snare, and then Tasha's cauldron. Yeah, Tasha's cauldron brew should already be on there. So
onto your sheet, click mode until it says preparation.
done.
Okay. You have an intelligence of 3. You're level 2. So you get 5 spells memorized. You memorize them by switching to preparation mode, clicking 5 of the little circles on the left.
Oh, okay. Well, let's go with that. That. Let me see. What is this? One bonus action.
Do bear in mind spells like identify are ritual spells.
Yeah.
I personally will put like a -R next to those. So I'll put something like that. That way I know that I can cast them without memorizing them. So you don't need to use a slot on that.
Just takes longer.
Just takes longer.
It's a catapult.
It's 10 for the ritual. It's 10 minutes plus the casting time. So if your casting time is a minute, then it would be 11 minutes. And I think if I'm not wrong, Tony, but if your casting time is 1 action, then it's 10 minutes and 6 seconds, essentially.
Essentially. But as a general rule, if we're getting that deep into the woods, we got bigger issues.
Alright, I went ahead and I chose my 5. So.
Okay, now under preparation, you have 2 options. You can change it to standard, which will, under combat, it just shows the spells you have memorized. Under standard, it shows you all your spells with the 5 you have memorized with a star.
Oh, I see. Okay, cool. Very neat. Okay.
So that's how you change your spells without removing them.
Alright.
I'm gonna head off for the evening, my friend.
Alright.
Okay.
Good night. Good
Good
night.
game.
Night, GG.
Indeed.
I'll take off too.
Thank you so very
Thank
much.
That's all I needed. You guys are free for the evening.
Hey, Tony,
Yes.
can you help me with one of my wild shapes? So I get I get 3 starry forms that I can use instead of my wild shapes. I had to add the dragon, but I don't know how to add the effects that it gives me. So like the chalice gives me the healing, the archer gives me the damage, the dragon gives me like whenever I make an intelligence or wisdom throw to maintain concentration on a spell, I can treat any roll of 9 or lower on the d20 as a 10. Is that going to automatically do something in the game, or do I have to fix that?
I don't know. I cannot say for certain. Give me a couple seconds. I'm gonna look into something real quick. It's loading, so everybody who is still in the server is probably getting hit with lag, but that's okay because too damn bad. Let's see.
Okay.
So what is this creature called?
Okay.
these are called starry forms?
Yeah, starry form. So I added it in, and it's starry form dragon on my sheet.
Constellation of a wise dragon appears on you when you make an intelligence check. So this is your new forms. So you
Yeah,
transform into these.
yeah, so instead of changing into a beast, I can choose to do one of these instead, and it still uses a wild shape slot.
Hmm. So you don't actually transform. You just do you transform?
No, it kind of gives me like a my body becomes more luminous, so kind of like my skin's already pretty dark with the
Got it.
constellation. So as my flavor on that was that like on my skin, like the stars, the freckles would like light up and create like an archer, or it would create the chalice somewhere else, or the dragon down my back, kind of like the girl with the dragon tattoo.
Gotcha. Hmm. Let me look into that and get back to you if we can automate it. My initial assumption is no. We'll just have to apply it, but some of it appears to be automatable.
I was gonna say the other ones are automated already. Like the chalice and the archer was done already when I cooked everything, but dragon wasn't, so I added it in. But if that's something I just have to keep an eye on, that's not a problem.
And we can, at a very minimum, turn it into an effect when it's your turn that announces it to you.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
That does sound super cool, though.